doing this morning? It's Thursday again. Wow, it's an amazing day, regardless of the storm behind me. There's a typhoon, I'm not sure of the name, but there's a typhoon that's very close to our province, so we're experiencing some rain. I like it, it's really nice. The place is really cool, makes me wear a sweater. That means I'm a bit chilly, right? But guys, it's a great morning, and again, I came to you not knowing what to say, but God, as always, gives me something to say, and I thank Him for that. Our encouragement today is again from my Sabbath school, but this time I won't read it. I'll just take a point that I learned this morning, and I have always known this, but I was speaking to my mom the other day, and she said, Shanique, I was listening to them review the Sabbath school, and then she was like, this is Shanique. I'm like, yeah, I thought I was the only one thinking that way in regards to the Sabbath school. And she's like, mm-mm. She's like, my child, you are going through a crucible right now. And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, today's Thursday lesson in the Sabbath school, I can link it below if you want to read it personally. One of the main points that stood out for me is God does not remove the trials because He wants you to realize where your dependence lies, right? And then it tied just so well with my scripture for today, which is our encouragement for today. It's Isaiah 41 verse 10. I've spoken on this before, but this is another perspective for this verse. And it says, Isaiah 41 verse 10, it says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. When you hear that verse, it just gives you so much comfort, right? It's like God is with you. And it reminds me once again of that dream that my mom constantly reminds me of whenever I go to her and I'm like, Mommy, why? And she's like, Shanique, remember God told you that it wasn't going to be easy. I'm like, yes, but why? Just why? And then she's like, Shanique, remember the dream? I'm like, okay. And then the dream had a point where, fear not, for I am with you, because in the dream He was by my side. Regardless of the darkness, regardless of the lightning, regardless of all that was happening around me, it was God who was leading me down this path. And He was beside me. And just like the scripture says, I should not fear, and I should not be dismayed, for He is my God, and He will strengthen me. He has strengthened me. He helped me, and He upholds me with His righteous right hand. And for sure, He was holding me with His right hand in the dream. But anyways, guys, today's lesson really it was entitled Substitutes, right? And the whole essence of this Thursday's lesson was, oftentimes when we get into trials, when we get into problems, we often try to channel our worries or fears in another direction, find a substitute so that we can relieve the pain. And too many times, unfortunately, we have chosen the wrong path and not chosen to put our dependence on God, right? And this ties to this scripture so well. It's because He's trying to remind us, guys, when the trials come, when the fears come, when everything that seems to be going wrong comes, what does He want us to do? Fear not. And realize that He is the one holding our hand. And if we just look to Him, if we just turn to Him and realize that He's the one that's by our side, and He's the one that's helping us, He's the one that is causing us to feel peace and joy regardless of what's going on around us, guys, it's then we'll realize that we need no other substitute but God, right? And our substitute will not be, okay, going out and drinking, going out and smoking, going out and having sex just to relieve or just channel or inner fears or inner anxieties to these avenues, it's best that we channel them to God, because it's really and truly only God that can fix everything. And oftentimes people be like, yeah, but he's the one that puts you in the trial. He puts you in the trials for you to recognize that it's him that you need, right? And until our pride is removed from us, guys, until that pride is removed from us, and we realize that it's only God that can definitely help us, we are going to be in cycles. And what is the channel about? It's about breaking cycles. So what is the opposite of pride? Let's exercise humility and submission to God, right? We ought to realize that we don't need any other avenue but the avenue of God to relieve our pain, relieve our stress, relieve our trials. And you know, people always get upset with God, but I always use this parallel. Guys, when your parents are being strict with you, no one, well, of course, in the moment we question, like, why are they being like this? But at some point we realize, okay, this discipline that they exercise towards us, or that they instill this principle, was necessary for me growing up. That now as adults, if we really contemplate our lives, we are very grateful to the fact that our parents raised us the way they did. And it's the very same thing. They were trying to instill a certain principle in us so that we would come out to be better human beings, better adults, right? And it's the same with God. Why don't we look at it that way, that, okay, when these trials come, it's about it's about him instilling these principles in us so that we can be a better Christian. And no one wants to endure all this. No child at the time, no teenager at the time wants to listen to their parents. But it is necessary, and that's why we have strict parents, and we thank God for strict parents. Not overbearingly strict, but strict enough to instill discipline, regardless of their children's feelings or tantrums or anything of the sort, right? It is key in raising decent human beings, right? And it's the same principle with God. He gives us these trials so that he allows these trials, because it's not him that wants to put us through these trials. It's the devil that comes and tempts us, and unfortunately, by our choices, we yield to the temptation, and we bring problems upon ourselves, right? But in the sense where God allows all these choices to be made, all these things to happen, so that we may learn the principle of heaven, the principles of heaven. All right, guys? So let's, whenever we're going through our trials, let's not look at, please, let's not look at the trial as something that is there to tear us down. What is the lesson to be learned? And let's not use different avenues that the devil is giving us to try and channel our fears or worries or anxieties into that avenue. Let's look to God, the true substitute, the one that actually died for us, right? He is the one that endured way more than we could ever imagine, right? And he died. He didn't need to die for us, right? He didn't deserve it. We are the ones that deserve it. Yes, he died, and he made sure that we have this avenue, this substitute, which is him. And if we look to him, we can be comforted in this verse to say, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yea, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. We can find comfort in these words. And I just urge you today and going forward, guys, that yes, the trials are hard. Go cry if you need to cry. Just be still if you need to be still. Be quiet. Go take a walk. Do what you need to do. But remember where your dependence lies, and that is God. And that's the key point of today's lesson. And if we realize that our dependence is on God, we can find comfort in this verse, Isaiah 41, verse 10. Okay, guys, so Jayo out there as Christians, I know it's not easy, but it's not impossible. And the only way it's not impossible is if we trust in God, believe in God, depend on God, and if we realize our true substitute is God. Okay, guys, so have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's encouragement, and I hope you guys are ready for the day ahead. Now, do me a favor and press that like button and subscribe button if you are new, so that we can get more of this positive Christian content out into the world, okay? And I'll link my daily devotional playlist right here and my Let's Talk playlist if you want to tackle some social issues, okay? So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.